Hey family, it's Mike again. I just want to touch base. This will be twice today, but I had um some really close friends talk to me today, and in light of what was said, I just kind of with what's going on with these videos is, there's supposed to be a message and one that it doesn't matter what we do and how we do it, how far gone we think we are, we can always come back to the Father, And you know, I just want to say that I'll be the first one to admit, if I've done something wrong while doing this. We're not perfect, and but the good thing about it is we've got grace. We can always repent, and then if we've learned from that mistake, then we can move forward. You know, so with that being said, um, moving forward, I have been on this medication, and really, really messing with me right now. Like my left side of my face. I'm having a hard time eating, um, like brushing my teeth and stuff. Um, just seemed like I don't know. It almost feels like I went to the dentist to get some teeth, worked on, and they've shot me with Novocaine. But but now I've had this feeling now for a couple days. So um, going into this, I really have had this strong desire to do something different because I'm just tired of hurting people. Um, and I want to follow the doctor's orders. So I called the place today, and they got a hold of the doctor that prescribed me, and he said that to get a hold of my family doctor, and of course I don't have one. So what they recommended me doing was to stop taking the medication for 3 days and see what happens when I stop. So, um, still a lot of fear because, even though we're in quarantine, we still have somewhat of an interaction with people. And I've had some interaction with some people here recently, and it could have went bad. I believe if I wasn't in the right place. So, you know, um, I'm gonna do what the doctor told me to do and stop taking this medication because they are the doctor and I am not, and just kind of go from there. But I do want to be checking in with everybody, um, and how this is going. Um, I've been kind of debating on whether or not I should still just kind of go over, my childhood and whatnot. But um, I just the one thing that I do know is like I want to go over is like things that I did, like when I turned 18 and I became an adult, and then I started getting in trouble. Um, I lived in Northern Virginia in Dumfries, and the things that I was doing, I had a complete and hatred for anything that was good for me. Um, I really thought that God had it out for me and that He hated me, and so I had this mentality that I had no fear at all. So with that in my head, I 100% believed that I was just destined to just screw up over and over and over again. And, you know, didn't have any kind of thought about the future, what I was doing, how. what I did today would affect me later on. And that's what's going on right now. Everything that I've done in the past is affecting me right now. So um, I'm not going to go into great detail about what I did in the past. Um, I've been locked up in every county jail in Northern Virginia. I've been locked up in D.C., Maryland. I did. I've been locked up in Georgia a few times. Um, my biggest um, thing was back in '98. I was doing time in the feds for possession of a firearm, and you know, I had a, I did, I committed a crime while having some firearms, and prior to my release in the feds in '98, I was indicted by the grand jury in Arlington, Virginia, on another charge, which was violent, and the county of Arlington came and got me from the feds. I was doing time at Butner, North Carolina. And while I was there, they came and got me, and I went to face these charges in the state of Virginia. And I was facing 15 years. And, you know, I'm already doing time for the charge. So what did I do is I pled guilty. And then, I told them that, I wanted to do whatever time that they wanted to give me. And when I went in front of the judge, the judge asked the DA, what was your recommendation? He said, I want Mr. Whitten to do 15 years, 5 years for this one charge, 10 years for the other charge. And he was real adamant about me getting 15 years. None of it ran concurrent with the federal time. And he wanted me to come back to Virginia for day. Um, I, I was ready. I'd already done 3 years. I was ready to do my time. The judge looked at me. He said, Mr. Whitten, you're really lucky to be alive right now. And I said, Your Honor, I agree. I was 26 at the time, and that judge looked at me. There was no one else in the courtroom. My brother and sister were in the courtroom with him. The DA, my attorney, me, and the judge. That judge looked at me and he said, Mr. Whitten, I'm going to give you 15 years, and I'm going to suspend it all. You know, I felt his presence right then and there. At that very moment, I knew without a doubt that, that there was a God and He wanted the best for me and He was protecting me. Um, did I do right at that time? No. You know, I've struggled with this very hard and I have fought it tooth and nail. The signs that He's given me, the second chances that He's given me. And this is why, like, just this last time, you know, when last November, where I wanted to be in control, and God said, "No, I'm in control." And so, you know, I'm I don't want to fight it anymore. I want to give up completely to His will. So there's other stories like this that I want to share with everybody. And there's also a message behind it. It's like it doesn't matter what you've done, like I said, what you've done, how you've done it, how far, how close. Like Jesus is always there with us, no matter what. And there's nothing that you can do about it because we were made in His image. So I just want to recite 2 Corinthians 5:17. This means that anyone belongs to Christ is a new person. The old life is gone, and new life has begun. There is hope, and He does want the best for us. I love you guys, and just um, people watch out for the other videos. Bye.